Now, Valentine's Day is not just celebrated in the USA. It's in Canada, the UK, France, of course, France, Australia, and Great Britain. Valentine's Day became popularly celebrated around the 17th century. By the middle of the 18th, it was common for friends and lovers of all social classes to exchange small tokens of affection or handwritten notes. And by 1900, printed cards began to replace written letters due to improvements in printing technology. That's where these guys all came around. Maybe that's where Hallmark got their start from. Who knows? And cheaper postage rates contributed to an increase in the popularity of sending Valentine's Day greetings back in old-time England. What was the first Valentine's card you sent? Or, better yet, do you recall the first Valentine's card you received? Think back. Do you love memories of way back when? What's the card you cherish the most? Have you saved those cards? Where'd you put them? Are they locked away under your pillow? Where's the Valentine in your heart?
Oh, I've been so lucky and I've been so blessed. In spite of my failings, I've found success. For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
Who in the world is this guy Cupid, and where did he come from? Well, Cupid supposedly was an ancient god mythology from way back when in Greek mythology. The son of Venus, one of the Greek gods of love. And I don't know why in the world they chose to pick a bow and arrow to shoot people and make them fall in love with each other. I would think it'd be more like you get a lawsuit. But basically, Cupid was the guy shooting people with the bow and arrow, having them all fall in love with their love torch. So he's the history of Cupid way back when. Now, how many of you were too cheap to buy a Valentine's gift, so you broke up with a girl or broke up with a guy just before Valentine's Day? You made it through Christmas, made it through the holidays, then along comes Valentine's Day and you figure, well, I'm out of here, baby. So just before the holiday, you just do the old Dear John, and that ends that romance. I once went to a high school dance. I think I was a freshman in college, went to a high school dance in my old high school. I met a girl on Valentine's Day, and her name was Valentine. I remember I drove her home, and I thought, wow, this would be really amazing. I'm meeting a girl named Valentine on Valentine's Day. Well, I never saw that girl again, never asked for a name and number, and she basically got out of the car and said, thanks for the ride. So there goes that love story. But what's your love story? What's your favorite Valentine's Day of the past? And what do you plan to do on Valentine's this year? My favorite Valentine was the love of my life. We were dating for about a month, about 6 weeks, 5 weeks dating. And I went into hock trying to impress her. I know what she thinks, and she got mad at me later on when she realized what I was doing. But I would basically do whatever I could to impress her every week with different dates. So it was Valentine's Day, and we're dating about 5 or 6 weeks now. And I figured, where better to bring her to than one of the most established restaurants in Wall Street. We both worked in Wall Street back then. I was in air freight sales. That was my territory. And she was secretary to a major brokerage firm. And I wanted to really impress her on Valentine's Day in 1974. So I took her to a restaurant, a very famous restaurant, one of the oldest established restaurants in America, Delmonico's Steakhouse. Now, Delmonico's has an incredible history. It's been around since 1860. They're the ones who invented Eggs Benedict, and I believe also Lobster Newburg. Eggs Benedict because someone walked in there one day around 1865. Some woman walked in for a brunch and didn't like anything on the menu and told the chef how to make Eggs Benedict. So they kept it, they loved it, they liked it, and now it's part of the menu forever and many other places for brunch. Anyway, so my wife, my then girlfriend, and I go there, Delmonico's, in 1974. And she was impressed, and I was impressed, and I was thrilled I was sharing the day with her.
the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can make all this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
So it was. I found my only you in my wife, Christine. And that was a day in 1974. A few months later, we were engaged, and the rest has become our love story.
Only you can make all this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
What's your favorite memory of Valentine's Day? Who did you share it with? What was your first date of the love of your life on Valentine's Day? Think back. Think of the memories. Bring them back. They're yours. Cherish them. Now, probably if you think back, the three most famous couples of history, probably be the first one would be Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Then you have Romeo and Juliet. Hopefully the third couple is you and your special someone. What are you doing on Valentine's night? I recall a couple of years ago, one of the last years of my working career, I had a dinner engagement with the senior VP of a major customer, Pfizer. I took the CEO of my company and my boss, the VP, and we had a dinner arrangement. The only date that this gentleman could get together with us was on February the 14th. So here we are, four guys, having Valentine's night dinner in an incredibly nice, wonderful restaurant in the middle of Manhattan. And I'm thinking, I couldn't be with my wife. They were not with theirs. And we're the four guys sitting there at dinner, having a pretty good time, but it wasn't what I liked to be. But it was a good dinner nevertheless. So what's your most awkward Valentine's night day? Or most awkward Valentine's dinner? What's the one you think back the most fondly of? And where do you plan to go this year with your special someone? Now you realize the flowers and roses go way up in prices around Valentine's Day. There's a marked increase in the retail price of these things. Incredible. Next day you get them like 1/3 the price. But chocolates are the big thing. You all know the Brax candy, the Queen Anne, the Sellers, Russell Stover, the Lintz, all those brands. What's the one you always get? What does your special someone always like the most? Does the big heart that they pick up with all the candy inside of it? Or the big, huge box of Whitman sampler? What's the one that you bring home that makes your day? With the flowers, the candy, the balloons. It's probably just you being there. So enjoy your Valentine's Day. Have a great time with the special person in your life. And hopefully, this is a wonderful year of Valentine's memories that keep on coming on.
Oh, I've been so lucky and I've been so blessed. In spite of my failings, I've found success. For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
You've been listening to The Last Walk, Remember When, with your host, Ron Baumbach. And a special thanks to YouTube and Wikipedia. To Frank Sinatra for the beautiful song More from the movie Mondo Cane. To the Association for their song Cherish. And to the Platters for Only You. And the song you've been hearing has been Here's to Good Friends, written, composed, and sung by good friend Paul Cresson. And a special note of appreciation to the fine folks at History.com for their excellent review of the history of Valentine's Day and what it means to all of us. Thanks, guys. Great work. And of course, I thank my great friend Mike from his studios in his basement in the state of Tennessee for his tremendous work in making our voice and show sound so much better. The book, The Last Walk on Our Block, is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's a Nook, print, and Kindle version. In addition, Ron's available for presentations to talk to your groups about the people, place, and things from the 1950s to the 70s. If you're interested, reach out. We'll do our best to be there. Have a great week and a great Valentine's Day. See you next time on The Last Walk. Remember When.
Here's to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us, right or wrong, and to all those good friends who give you this song. And to all those good friends who give you this song.